Hello everyone, today I'm gonna show you how to create this 3D machine bracket. While designing this bracket, we're gonna learn use of boolean commands, stiffner command, and some wireframe commands like extremum, translate, plane, join, projection, intersection, etc. Let's understand the geometry of this bracket. This bracket consists of one cylindrical interface for bearing or a shaft, and it also contains three mounting holes for mount this bracket on the other part. I want to build this bracket in such a way that the geometry of bracket is driven by the position and the orientation of cylindrical interface and the position of the mounting hole. Let's define these elements. First, insert new geometrical set, name as input, then create point which represents the position of cylindrical interface, make this 0, 0, 0. Then create a line at this point in z direction which represents the orientation of cylinder. Now as per the diagram we have to create three mounting points. So create first mounting point. Here the x should be 35 divided by 2, y should be 75 and z should be minus 15. Click on OK. Create second point. Put here x minus 17.5 and click OK. Now create third mounting point. Make this x 0, y minus 75 and z minus 60. Click OK. Now isolate this all elements. Let's rename it. Next thing I'm gonna create some construction element by using this input elements. So let's insert new geometrical set and name as bracket construction. Now create one plane perpendicular to this cylindrical orientation at this cylindrical position. Create one line from this 1.2 to 1.1. Now project this line on this plane and create one plane normal to this curve passing through this point. Now create the intersection of this plane and this projection and then create a line between these 2 points. Now insert a new axis system. Make this origin cylindrical position. Our y-axis should be this line and z-axis should be this cylindrical orientation. Uncheck this current and uncheck under the axis system node so you can get your axis system under this BKT construction. We're gonna use a boolean operations to create this geometry. So I want to divide this bracket into three parts. One is lower mounting base, second is cylindrical interface, and third one is upper mounting base. So first we're gonna create a cylindrical interface. So let's change the workbench to part design and insert new body. Rename that body to cylindrical interface and create position sketch. Select this plane as support, select the projection point as cylindrical position and line parallel, select this line. Click on OK. Create circle at the center. Create one more circle at the center. Give outer circle dimension 60. Inner circle, which represents the interface for the shaft, is 40. Now this outer one is represents the thickness, so convert that into reference and give the thickness between these two. Exit from the sketch. Now I want to extrude this into the downward direction and I want to limit this with the plane. So create one plane parallel to this passing through this point. Now we can define the cylindrical interface body and use pad. Select the sketch, change the direction, click on more, select the second limit up to plane, select this plane. Here in the first limit, select up to plane and select this plane. Click on OK. Now let's create a lower base area. So before that I want to create some construction elements. So change the workbench to GSD and create a plane parallel to this GX plane at this point. Now create a circle at this mount point on this support. Make this radius 8 and make this complete. Create same circle on this another mounting point on the same support. Now I want to define the limit for the lower base. So I'm going to use the extremum to define the maximum limit of it. So what I'm going to do, click on this extremum, select this circle and select this plane. Hide this plane, select this plane, change the direction to minimum, click OK. Select this circle and select this plane, click OK. Now use translate to translate this point on the outer side by 4.5 millimeter. Preview. So it represents the position of our base. The same way I can do on the other side. Select this in this direction. Make this minus and click OK. Similar way I want to define the top limit. So for that I want to create one line which is angle normal to curve. Select the curve, select point and select this plane. Make this 90 degree and change the orientation. Now create extremum point on this circle and along this direction. Change it to minimum and click OK. Use translate to translate this on this side. Select the direction and make this -7. So let's create a limiting plane for our lower base. Create plane parallel to YZ at this point. Create plane parallel to YZ on another point. Create one more plane for the top limit perpendicular to this line at this point. Now change the workbench to part design. Insert new body and working define and go to properties and rename as lower base. Now select this position sketch, select this plane, select the projection point as this cylindrical origin, and here parallel line, select this line, click on OK. Create a profile. So use this trim this together. Now coincide this with this point, coincide this side with this point, create a line which connect these two dots and give the dimension between these two, like distance 5. Now select the dimension between this point and this point, this line and point 15. Now go to cylinder and show the sketch. Make this line tangent, make this line tangent to this one, and coincide this with this outer circle. Remove this horizontal constraint, constrain this point with this, coincide. Convert this into construction, exit from the sketch. Now I want to create the lower limit for this base. So create one plane which is in between these two planes. Select this plane, select another plane, and here make it middle plane. Now use pad, click on more, select the sketch, change the direction, make second limit up to plane, select this plane, first limit up to plane, select this plane, this plane, click on OK. Now give the radius here 5 millimeter, and now I'm gonna apply a shell on all these faces. Should be 15 on the outer side. Give the fillet on this edges 10. Now create pocket. Make this up to last. Second limit up to last. Same for this. Create pocket up to last. Second limit also up to last. Now we're gonna create the rib for the lower base. So for that, I have to create the upper limit for this rib. So change the workbench to GSD and we can define this wicket construction. Now create extremum point on the sketch with respect to this XZ plane. Click OK. Now create one line in Z direction. Select here up to this line and second up to this one. Click on OK. Now show your sketch on the lower base. Show your sketch from the lower base and extract this edge. Hide your sketch. Project this extract on this plane. Now create a blend between this project and line. Extrude this line along this plane, and here you can see up to XZ. Click OK. Now create join between these two. Click OK. Hide these other elements. And also hide this sketch. Show the extremum. Now define lower base and change the workbench to part design. Create position sketch on this plane. Select projection point, the center, and select parallel line. It's this line. Click OK. Now take this center rectangle and give the constraint. Should be 5. This should be 10. Show sketch. Should coincide with this. Exit from the sketch. Now create pad. Change the direction. Select second limit up to plane. Select this plane. Select first limit up to surface and select the surface. Click on OK. Hide this join. Hide this extremum. Also hide this sketch. So the lower base is created. Now we're going to create the upper base. So insert a new body and rename as upper base. For that we need some construction element. Select this plane and offset by 15 mm. Now we also want change the workbench to GSD and project this point on this plane and connect these 2 points with the line. Again, go back to your part design. Working define upper base and create a sketch on this plane. Select here projection point at this mount point and parallel line should be this line. Click OK. Now create a circle at the center. Create one more circle at the center. Outer one is 46 mm and inner one is pony. Convert that into reference and give thickness. Now create a profile and use trim to merge this all together. Now exit from the sketch, show the cylindrical sketch, double click on it. I'm going to create one circle inside it, which is 46. Convert that into reference and give thickness here. Right click on it and make it output feature. Exit from the sketch, double click on the sketch. Now make this line tangent to this point. Make this line tangent to this point. Now coincide this with this line. Exit from the sketch. Now select pad. Click on this here. The first dimension, select up to plane and select this plane. And second limit up to plane, select this lower plane. Select sketch here and click OK. Now update your part. And merge these three bodies together. To work in define this part body, right click on the cylinder interface body and click on this add. Body get added into the part body. Now right click on this lower base and click on the union trim, and here faces to keep, you have to select this face, so it removes unwanted face. Similarly, right click on this upper base, union trim, select faces to keep, this face, remove unwanted space from inside, click OK. Now we're going to create the stiffner. So for stiffner, again we have to create some construction elements. For that, first I'm going to edit the sketch, create circle and give a clearance value from this circle. So I want here 10mm gap from this circle. Right click on it and make it output feature. Now change the workbench to GST and select the extremum point, select this circle and select this line. Change your minimum and click OK. Again I need one more extremum point. Select the sketch, select this line and click OK. Now create plane passing through point and line. Now go back to your part design and work in define part body. Create position sketch on this plane. Select here projection point at this point and parallel line at this line. Change your direction, click OK. Now delete this extra line and constrain this point with this extremum and constrain this point with this extremum. Give this dimension 5, exit from the sketch and use stiffner. Give here thickness 10, keep neutral fiber on and click OK. Now our bracket is ready. Hide all these construction elements and change the color of our bracket to blue. Hide the sketch. Update your part. Now let's see our part update with the input mounting points and cylinder interface and orientation or not. So I have one part which has the cylinder interface point, orientation and 3 mounting points. So let's replace these points. Select this point, select this line, change the orientation. Now select the mount point, select the mount point 2 and select this point. Click OK. Now update your part, update to your new position. Suppose this location is updated, so convert that into coordinates. Double click on it and change this y value. Update your part. This will automatically update this all the ribs. We change this x value. I want to change this one. Let's double click. Change this 99 to lower value. Update your part. So it will update your part accordingly. Suppose I change the length here. Complete. So your part will update automatically with respect to the input mounting points. This is end of our session. Thanks for watching.